So this is going to go through some of the key points of the review. You have the answers to check. Um, the test follows the exact same format and order as the review. So initially here, we need to find the radius because we're finding the area of each one. Find the radius. Area is pi r squared. So if they give you the radius, just plug it in and go. If they give you something that helps you find the radius, you find the radius first and plug in and go. So the radius is 4 here because the diameter is 8. The next one, we are finding the circumference of each circle. Circumference is pi d. So you want to find the diameter, which is twice the radius. So they give you the diameter here. They give you the radius here. You double it, plug it in, find the diameter, and good to go. Okay, name the minor and major arcs. So trace the angle. The minor arc is the short distance, and the major arc is the long distance. Even if there's extra letters, you can pick any letter in between. You notice it starts and ends with the same letter on both of them. And then we have, we start to get a little more complicated, but find the measure of the arc or central angle indicated. Trace whatever they give you. They give you the arc, so we're tracing the arc. And there are diameters. So if that's 115, that's 65 because they add up to 180. Same thing here. So then the arc we're finding, we're adding all the way around 245. Or take 360 minus 215. On this one, they give you some arcs and some angles. I'd write them all as the central angle. They all add up to 360. And then that leaves you with 80 plus 45 is 125 for this. Find the area of the sector. This is one of the first things that we did. Take the number of degrees of the sector divided by 360 times the formula for area. So 169.6 inches squared. 75 divided by 360, 14 squared pi. Don't round. Use the pi button. If the answers don't line up exactly, then it used 3.14. Don't stress about that. Find the length of the arc. Length is the same formula, but we're multiplying by the circumference because we're trying to find just this actual measurement, not the inside. So 195 out of 360 times 20 pi and 18 pi. Notice we doubled the radius to get the diameter. Okay, find the area of each. Use your calculator to value round nearest tenth. Okay, so when we're finding area, we need to know the radius. They don't tell us the radius. So we have an equation for circumference, and we're going to go ahead and divide to find out what the radius is. So I'm going to solve this equation. I'm going to take 42.7 divided by 2, and then I'm going to divide by pi. And that gives me a radius of 6.8. And then I can do pi r squared. So area equals 6.8 squared pi. So 6.8 squared equals that times pi. 145.3 meters squared because we're finding area. On this one, it's a little easier. They give you the diameter to find the radius. Take it half. So the area equals 7 squared pi, which is just 49 times pi. 153.9 kilometers squared. Same thing here with find the circumference. They don't give you what you want to have. They give you the area. They don't give you the radius. So we got to set the area equal to the area, and then we're going to solve for the radius. So we're going to take 243.3 divided by pi. So we get r squared equals 77.4448. I'm going to take just a few places, and we're going to take the square root of 77.4448. And that gives you a radius of 8.8. And we need to find the circumference. Circumference equals pi d, or 2 pi r. So I'm going to take 2 times 8.8 times pi, which is 55.3 yards. Now I have the next one. We're going to solve for x. And what we're doing is basically looking at where we can find stuff that's 180 or 360. And so in this case, we know all of the arcs, and so they all add up to 360. So now it's just a matter of solving our equation. 360 minus 157 is 203. So 29x equals 203. Divide by 29. X equals 7. And for this one, I have 2 arcs that add up to 180. So I set them equal to 180. 2x plus 190 equals 180. 180 minus 190 is negative 10. Don't get sloppy. X equals negative 5. And they on this one, they want you to find the angle BAC. So angle BAC is this angle right here. Negative 5 plus 51 equals 46. There will be a couple bonus questions that are reviewed from what we've done in the past. With parallel lines that you have angles that are either supplementary or congruent. The lines are parallel. So these two angles are not congruent, so they're supplementary. So you write an equation. 18x plus 54 equals 180. 180 minus 54 is 126. 18x equals 126, so divide by 18. X equals 7. Now we're into more of our arc measures and properties. And remember, our rule is let's trace the arc, trace the angle, and it'll run into an arc. And so all 3 of these arcs add up to 360. So if I take 360 minus 130 minus 56, I'll get this arc. So 360 minus 130 minus 56 equals 174. This is an inscribed angle, so if you divide it by 2, you get 87. This one has a few more markings on it. Again, extend what you know. We're trying to find this. So we know everything adds up to 360. We can use the 65. So if we extend the 65, we know that arc is 130 because it's double. And we need to know the distance from here to here because half of that would be our answer. So I have 104 and 130. If I take 360 minus 104 minus 130, I get 126. So the extra right here is 126 because I have this distance. So this is 126. So 126 plus 66 will tell me the arc that's intercepted. And that's 192. Divide that by 2, you get 96. And that is ones that are a little more complicated, but that concludes the first 2 pages.